Come on, let's go. We don't want to be late. These are phrases that I say every day of my life. And maybe you do too. But do you know how to say them in English? Well, today in this lesson, you are going to learn 10 phrases that I say every day and you probably can use. Hi, I'm Atena from Learning English with Atena. Welcome back to my channel. Alright, let's get started at the beginning of the day and go through these 10 expressions that you can use every day, just like I do. Expression number 1 is to whip up something to eat. This phrasal verb, to whip up, implies a fast action. When I whip up something to eat, that means that I'm doing pretty quickly. And why am I doing it quickly? Well, in the morning, I don't leave myself much time to do all the things that I need to do. So, when you say, can you come look at this? Can you go over there? I say, sorry, I have to whip up something to eat first. I need to quickly toast some bread, make some eggs. I need to whip up something to eat. Expression number 2. Come on, let's go. I say this every day. Maybe you do too in your own language. When we need to get somewhere in the morning, school or work, well, if you have to gather other people, whether it's your husband or your kids, you probably say, come on, let's go. Especially if you're the one who's ready first. If you are the one who takes a long time, you might hear someone else say this to you. Come on, let's go. Are you ready? This third expression that I use every day is we don't want to be late. Or sometimes I say, I don't want to be late. Because usually it's just me who cares about this. But this is given a reason for why you need to come on, let's go, we don't want to be late. It's kind of rude to be late, isn't it? At least in American culture, it's rude to be late. So it's a good motivator. Daily life expression number 4 is one that you can use as you are driving your kids to school or if you're on your way to work. You can say, I'm stuck in traffic, but I'm on my way. This is letting the other person know, maybe your child's teacher, maybe your boss, that you have an excuse. I'm stuck in traffic, but don't worry, I'm not still at home lying on bed. I'm on my way. With family members, sometimes when we text, we say OMW, and this means on my way. So this is a common abbreviated expression that if I am at the store and I'm coming home, I might text my mom OMW. That means on my way. Daily life expressions that I use almost every day is I'm gonna run some errands. To run some errands is a great fixed phrase that you can add to your vocabulary. And it means doing necessary things like going to the grocery store, going to the post office, going to the bank. I'm gonna run some errands and then I need to pick up my friend from the office. Daily life expression number 6 is I better run. Is this talking about having some physical activity and running? No, this is talking about living. I better run. I'm gonna be late. So, if you're chatting with a friend, maybe you're having some coffee together and you realize it's almost 3 o'clock. I need to pick up my kids at 3 o'clock. You might say, oh, I better run. And the word better here is not talking about a comparison. This is better than this. Instead, this is a substitute for the word need. I need to run. I need to go. I better run. I better go. Great expression that I use all the time and you can too. Daily life expression number 7. You can ask, how was everyone's day? This is something you can ask your kids. You can ask your partner. You can ask, how was everyone's day? And our next 8 expression is kind of a follow-up to that. You might ask, what did you do today? What did you do today? If you ask kids this after school, what did you do today? They might just say, oh, nothing. It's often good to ask a pointed question. So if you know something specific about your child's day, it's better to ask that. For example, your son who is in first grade, his first grade teacher gives each student a job for the day. So his job might be what they call energy saver. And that means it's the person who turns off the light when they leave the classroom. So you might ask him, how was your day as energy saver? Did you turn off the lights today? And he might say, yeah, and then I did. And then it kind of continues the conversation a bit. Instead of asking, what did you do today? You can ask a more pointed question. The 9th expression that I use every day is talking about dinner. When my mom and I come together at the end of the day and we say, what are we gonna to eat? Well, maybe one of us will have a suggestion. I might say, well, I was thinking about making spaghetti. What do you think? Here I'm asking my mom, what's your opinion? What do you think? And if she says, no, you know what? I think I'm going to make a roast chicken. I might say, cool, great, go for it. You can ask someone's opinion by saying, what do you think? And the 10th expression that I use every day is to start winding down. Here we have the phrasal verb to wind down. When we wind down, we are calming down and preparing for bed or the end of the day, trying to just calm our minds. So what I often say to you is, all right, everyone, dinner's finished. It's time to start winding down. We're going to take a bath, read some stories, and then it's bedtime. We're trying to wind down. But sometimes the opposite happens. After you take a bath, you just get this burst of energy. I don't know if this has ever happened to you or in your house, but you get wound up. You get so much energy after a bath and start running around like crazy. So I say, hey, guys, we are going to start winding down. Let's start calming down our minds and bodies and get ready for bed. It's time to start winding down. Well, congratulations on leveling up your vocabulary with these 10 expressions that I use every day. And now I hope you can too. Let me know in the comments, what time do you start winding down? Do you start winding down around 8 p.m. or maybe it's at midnight that you start to wind down and go to bed? Thank you so much for learning English with me. Bye!